Our whole philosophy is to try and put it in our portfolio first. If we can't put it in our portfolio, then we'll sell it off using what we call an RBP, which is kind of a novation. We're using outside realtors to sell it for us. If that doesn't work, then we wholesale it off. So we don't give away a property or let it go by the wayside in the trash can. If we can make money on it, we're going to try and make money on it. That's the bottom line. We spend how much on advertising?
25 grand, I believe.
About 25,000 a month on PPC, pay-per-click leads through Google. So that's where our leads come from.
Okay.
They answer the phone on those, get it under contract. We've been writing anywhere from 20 to 30 contracts a month
Well,
is where we've been writing.
one a day basically.
Basically, yeah, that's what we try to.
Okay.
Then it goes to her and her team to sell them off. And she's got 3 people on her team that help her sell. One of them deals with the lease option stuff. If it's a situation that we bring it in-house, I don't want to be a landlord, so we kick it back out with a lease with an option to purchase.
You got live transfer.
Oh,
You go. I'm gonna step
yep, you go for it, man. So that's one of our acquisitions. He just got a contract. We do a live transfer to Kirsten
Okay.
so that she can do a welcome call to that seller and start the dispo side of it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh,
so that's what's happening right now.
Sounds good.
We try to do creative financing first. We try to use seller financing. Are you familiar with what that is?
seller finance.
Seller financing.
So if you're selling the house or property or whatever, I don't absolutely know, but
Okay, let's say you own the house.
Okay.
Let's say you own it free and clear. You paid it off.
Okay.
I'm going to make you the bank, and I'm going to loan the money from you as the seller. Okay? Then you have what they call subject to wraps. Okay, the big buzzword right now is subject to. There's 2 different ways of doing them. There's a right way and a wrong way in my mind. We do it with a wrap. So let's say you own the house and you have a mortgage on it. But let's say you bought it 2 years ago and there's no equity in it. You lost all your equity. Okay? But you have a job change and you're moving out of Arizona. Okay? But you can't sell it without taking money out of your pocket to pay realtor commissions. Okay? This is just one example. So we'll take over that loan that you have. We will wrap it, just like a package, wrap it up. We're going to give you a deed of trust and a promissory note. So if I quit making payments on it, you can come foreclose on me. Okay? A lot of guys will just take over your note, but you have no recourse if they quit making payments. So that's why I don't like the subject to term. Okay? So we do it where we protect our sellers.
Okay.
Then at that point, what we do is we'll just start making that mortgage payment. We set it up through an outside third-party servicing company. So we pay the servicing company pays the mortgage company, so that's all accountable and all the accounting is done correctly, okay? So that's some of the ways we do it. If for some reason we get a property and there's no creative stuff that we can do with it, we'll take it down with cash. If I take it down with cash, I'll come to say you and say, hey, I need X amount of dollars. And I'll give you 10% interest, interest only payments, that kind of thing. You'll get your principal back when I sell the property. Okay, great. It's safe and secure, which is huge, unlike the stock market. Okay. You get a check every single month. Okay. It's locked in on property. It's no different than you being Chase or Wells Fargo.
Okay.
You're going to have a deed of trust and a promissory note. If for some reason I quit making payments, you foreclose on me. At that point, now you have a property that's worth more than what your loan is. Now you can take and resell it, you can rent it, you can do whatever you want to, and you're in a hell of a position too. A good position, I mean.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, if I remember correctly, government bonds. Like,
Kind of.
yeah, it's fully backed, right?
Mm-hmm. It's back to the real estate.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's really no up and down, that kind of stuff. So my private monies, people are secure. Then what we do is as long as the property meets criteria, we'll let it what they call season. So it's got a season typically for 3 to 6 months
Okay.
with that loan. Then we'll go out and get it refinanced. And we'll refinance it with what they call a DSCR loan. Okay? That means that the property stands on its own.
Okay.
They don't use my credit, my income, no nothing. It stands on what the rental rate is coming in. And as long as it can pay the mortgage and pay other expenses, then the property stands on its own. That's a DSCR loan. Okay? And it's a 30-year fixed mortgage is what it is. Okay? But it's easy to qualify for with these properties. So then we'll get a 30-year note put on them. I've got, in fact, my assistant just went through and we're getting ready to send this over to our broker because interest rates just dropped again. Okay. And then the feds are getting ready to lower them again. When they lower them again, then the secondary market will lower theirs even more. But right now, I can get in the high fives, low sixes on investment loans, which is crazy. So anyway, so that's kind of what we do. Then my private money comes back out. I reinvest it in another property. I keep turning and burning, keep turning and burning. Because we sell it off with a lease with an option to purchase, we typically do a 5-year term. So we're trying to find people that don't want to be renters, want to be homeowners, but can't.
Yeah.
So we help people that can't get a mortgage today for whatever reason. We put them in there with a lease with an option to purchase. At the end of the option, we turn it into seller financing, and my company becomes the bank for them. And we're just wrapping the underlying loan. They do have to get through what they call the SAFE Act, or Dodd-Frank. Some people know it that way. So we get them through that program, and then that keeps my butt out of jail. And then they can go ahead and we're the seller finance for them, and they don't have to run through all the bank stuff. So that's kind of our end game. Plus, when that happens, now I become the bank,
Yeah.
and that's the ultimate in investing, in my mind, is be the bank and
Yeah.
just collect the payments.
Yeah.
And if they quit making payments, you do a simple foreclosure. Because we do contract for deeds, it's a forfeiture, not a foreclosure. So it's real easy to get the house back and start all over and do it all over again if you have to.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that's kind of the in beginning to end.
Yeah. Day to day.
Day to day. So in this business, being real upfront with you, you got to have some patience. You have to be able to build a pipeline,
Okay.
and that's 100% up to you. And that comes down to taking phone calls. Are you afraid of the phone?
No.
Okay. 99.9 of everything we do is on the telephone. If you're not willing to grind on that phone, you're not going to make any money. Be point blank with you. We have enough leads coming in. That's not a problem. I think last 225 leads came through the door last month.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we get a lot of leads. And these are real leads.
Okay.
They're warm leads because they're calling us.
Oh, that's never.
Okay. Yeah. So that's,
Calling you?
yeah, they're calling us. So, yeah, it's all PPC stuff. So we've tried outbound, doing cold callers, stuff like that. It just doesn't work for what we do. Everybody says they can be successful at it. We were years and years ago. We had 12 cold callers, and we made it work, but that was before PPC. PPC is just so much easier, and you got the warm lead. So it is about taking the leads. We work Monday through Friday, basically 8 to 4. On Wednesday, Thursdays, we do sales training at 7:30 every week, and that'll be a variety of what we're doing those days. We do a company meeting every Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock to 8:30 every Tuesday. Yep, and we basically discuss every property that's on the board to see if there's anybody else, any other ideas. It's kind of brainstorming on the properties. But if you're in acquisitions, those leads come in 24/7, 7 days a week. So you're having to take them here, but you're also, where you're going to make the bigger money is taking the after-hour leads and the weekend leads, and that's not constant. We might go a weekend and not maybe have 4 or 5 leads. We may come in and have 15 leads that weekend. You don't know what's going to come in. But because it's a commission-based job, you want to be on top of it. We'll train you we have full scripts. Okay. We don't want you to read it. We want you to be comfortable with it. Make it your own. There are some key things in there, and some of it is psychological and hitting the neurons and all that kind of stuff as you're going through the sales scripts, as you know, in sales. So you want to take out those key points and use them. We'll teach you basic real estate. We'll teach you how to look at a deal of, is it something we can take down, or do we have to pivot and turn it into an RBP or a wholesale deal? And we teach you how to do all that. We'll teach you how to go through the contract. You'll be presenting the contract to the client. You'll be filling out the contract. You'll learn how to comp, in other words, price real estate. Okay, because we're nationwide. We call it nationwide. We're in what 8 markets. In one campaign, I don't know how many it's in the other one, 6 in the other one, something like that. So we're in multiple markets. We don't advertise typically in Arizona because the money's not here for buy and hold stuff. So everything's somewhere else. So you got to kind of learn that market and so forth, and you got to be pretty quick at it. We have certain softwares we use to be able to analyze that kind of stuff. We have a quick deal that we call the McDonaldized version, where you can pull some quick numbers while you're on the phone to get a good basis. And then from that basis, you keep working it. You will learn, like I say, how to comp the deals. But then the final comping and the final say-so is always through Jason. So, and he's available 24/7, 7 days a week. If he's not available, then I typically take over, but that's very rarely. He makes himself available for deals. He's a deal junkie. Once you get the pipeline built, what I mean by that is you got to have certain contracts. In real estate, you're going to get a contract today. By the time she gets a hold of it, can get it on the market, that kind of stuff, could be up to a week before she can even do anything with it by the time we get access and pictures. If she has to get a real estate agent involved in it, it could even be a little bit longer than that. By the time they go out and take their pictures and analyze it and get all their numbers back to us, get the listing agreement back to us, that kind of stuff. And so it might be 2 weeks before it even hits the market. Then they're going to be out, depending on what market you're in. Is it a 10-day turnaround, or is it a 60-day turnaround before they can find a buyer? Then once you get the buyer, are they getting a loan? If they're getting a loan, now you're another 45, 60 days out. We don't like it to ever go that long, but sometimes they do. But what happens is by building that pipeline up, let's just say you got 10 in your pipeline, you could have some closing this month, but you could have that same number closing 6 months from now. Okay, you don't know. And that's where that pipeline comes in. Once you let up on that pipeline, it starts to go down, and then your closings aren't coming in.